welcome to our 2024 first chair yoga with Grow with GoGo. We're so happy that you're here. And this is something that we're doing weekly. Every other week we're doing chair yoga, and every other week we're doing functional fitness. So we hope that this becomes a nice moment in your week, a nice thing to look forward to. And I think with the new year, it's especially great if this is something that you're starting for the first time, maybe a nice new habit. And we have a lot of fun here, so we're happy you're part of it. Just a little overview on GoGo, because I'm not sure how you found us or why, but it could have been for one of these things. So it might have been for rides, our meals, groceries. We also offer prescription delivery. So if you have some new prescription medication that's been filled at the pharmacy and you're not sure if you're going to be able to pick it up, we can pick it up for you. And also home services. So I was just talking to a couple of you about the weather, but if you have any sort of home service or task around the house or your yard, maybe even like shoveling your drive, you can also call GoGo for those things, and we can help you make sure that your home is safe and you feel comfortable, and all the things that you need to get done around the house are getting handled for you. Something else I want to flag for you before we jump into it is that you have a special referral code. All of you do, and it appears in your receipt. And what's cool about this is that if you share it with a friend, if you share your referral code, you talk about GoGo and say that you're enjoying it, you want to pass it on to somebody else, you both would get $10 in credit once they sign up. So it's like a nice way to give something, and you also get a little something for doing that. So just wanted to flag that for you. And I'm Cassie, I'm GoGo's communications director. And every week we're joined by Adra, who is a yoga teacher, an occupational therapist, and I want to say motivational speaker, but I don't think you describe yourself that way, but just lovely person. So I'm going to toss it over to you to get our chair yoga kicked off.
Great, thanks, Cassie. Hi, everyone, nice to see you. I'm scrolling through, looking at all your faces and names. I love that I'm seeing some new people, and of course, I'm so happy to see our returning yogis. So all you need today is a chair and your body. Generally easier if it's a chair that doesn't roll around, but use whatever you have. So if you don't have a kind of standard chair, then you can use a couch, office chair, whatever you have. And let's get started. So let's go ahead and start in your chair, seated. Feet planted on the ground, hands can rest on your legs, and we'll begin by taking some circles with your torso. So if you're new to Zoom and you're having a hard time seeing me, you can always check at the top right-hand corner of your computer, if you're on a computer, and make sure that you're on speaker view, not gallery. Go ahead and take your circles the other way with the torso. If you're on your phone and you're having a hard time seeing me, you might need to scroll. So usually with any kind of techie phone, you can just swipe. If you swipe from right to left, you'll get different images of who is there, and one of them should be me. All right, coming back to center, sitting in the middle. We'll inhale, press the chest forward and pull your elbows back. And then exhale, round your back and press your arms forward. So we exhale, bend the elbows, chest comes forward. You can even look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round your back. So you're tucking your tail between your legs. You're dropping your chin. You're stretching between the shoulder blades as the hands come forward. Inhale, chest forward, elbows back. Exhale, round. Arms forward. Keep going. Follow your breath. We want to add a little more movement. I'm moving my hands as well. So as I round the back, my fingers spread apart. And as I pull the elbows back, I create fists with my hands. So that's just an add-on. If it's interesting, that feels like too much, don't worry about it. Don't do it. Make your way back to center. Relax your arms alongside the body. And we'll go into some side bending. So feet stay firmly planted on the ground. We'll inhale, lean to one side. So reaching one hand down. You're going directly to your side. So you're trying not to bend forward or back. And then exhale, use your core muscles to pull yourself back up. Inhale, side bend the other way. So fingertips reach downwards, stretching that side body, and then using those core muscles to exhale, pull yourself up. We'll keep going. Inhale, bend to the side. Exhale as you return to center. Keep going. Follow your own pace, your own breath. So don't worry about my speed or anybody else's. Follow your own pace. And just a reminder that this is your time and your practice. So if at any point you need to modify, take a break, add something, subtract something, you are absolutely welcome to do that. Make this work for your body today. Go ahead and return to center. Let's do a couple shoulder rolls back. And a couple shoulder rolls forward. And then relaxing the arms. Let's find cactus position. So bending those elbows about 90 degrees. So fingertips are reaching up to the ceiling. Your elbows are bent 90 degrees. We're going to twist one direction. So rotating the spine, arms come with you. And then twist the other way. If you'd like, you can add some breathing. So we'll inhale, rotate one way. Exhale, rotate the other way. Keep going. Follow your breath. If you can keep your knees tracking straight forward so that you're finding this rotation more in the middle of your back and not in the low back. So see if you can keep your legs really steady and that you're really twisting at the spine. And even yourself out right to left and coming to center. Hands come down. We'll inhale, circle the arms out to the side and then up towards the ceiling. Reach as tall as your fingertips can go. Exhale, palms touch, hands come to the heart. Inhale, arms circle out and up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, arms circle. Exhale, hands down. One more time. Inhale, arms circle. Exhale, hands come down. And then we'll place one hand on top of the other in front of your chest, in front of your heart. Gently put some pressure into your chest. So palms are just pressing slightly towards your chest, towards your heart. And draw some circles, really small circles. So it might not even be, you might not even be able to see me do the circles, but I'm just pushing my hands into my chest and drawing some really small circles with my hands. Almost like I'm giving my heart a little massage. Go ahead and take those circles the other way. And here as you circle, you might even choose to close your eyes and just draw your attention to this region that you're just gently massaging. And then allow your hands to find stillness, pressing into your chest, pressing into your heart. And take a few deep breaths. Maybe take a moment to acknowledge yourself for showing up to our class, maybe setting an intention for class. So that might be something you'd like to cultivate or honor. And if nothing comes to mind, that's okay. You're just taking this moment to acknowledge yourself for showing up. Take a deep inhale, fill your lungs. And exhale, let it go out the mouth. One more time, deep inhale. And let it go. If you've closed your eyes, feel free to open them up. And we'll interlace our fingers. So threading those fingers together, and then push your palms forward, stretching those forearms, stretching those hands. Go ahead and keep the interlacing of the hands. Just bring the hands back towards you, and we'll do a kind of a roller coaster with your arms. So the hands stay connected, but you're drawing this sort of snake-like motion one direction, articulating through the wrists. I'll come a little closer so that you can see a little better. And then we'll go the other way. And usually when you start to go the other direction, it gets confusing, and that's okay. So you might find it tricky to make this sort of S-curve or inchworm-like movement. A little more challenging one of the directions. All right, and then releasing the hands, shake it off. And then we'll move our attention to our lower body. Toes stay on the ground, balls of the feet stay on the ground, going into some heel raises. So lifting one heel off of the earth and then pressing it back down. Other heel comes up and back down. So keep alternating here. So you should feel those calf muscles working, trying to really articulate through the foot, that you're finding motion and not just the ankle, but you're also finding movement in your foot. You're welcome to continue like this, or if you'd like, you can add some marching. So you'll lift the entire foot off the ground and then bring it down. Feel free to stay with the heel raises if that's better for your body. You can stay in your position. I'm just going to turn so you can see. We're going to try, as you're marching, to keep your torso upright. We're not moving our whole torso with our leg. So this is what we're not doing. I'm showing you what not to do. We're trying to keep our torso upright as we march. So just noticing what your body wants to do, and see if you can stick with keeping your upper body still as you march. Couple more. And then go ahead and release, relax. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see you do not need to move. We'll straighten one leg forward in front of us. I'm going to do the right leg, but it's up to you. So maybe straightening the right leg or the other in front of you. If it's hard to straighten the leg, it may be that you're too far back in your chair. And so straightening the leg and keeping your heel down is not possible. So just scoot yourself forward to plenty of room behind you. Right leg is straight, and then we're going to point and flex the right foot. So you're finding motion in your ankle. And then go ahead and keep your foot flexed so the toes are up to the ceiling. That right leg is still straight, the left knee is bent, left sole of the foot on the earth. We'll inhale, lean forward, feel the stretch intensify, keep your spine long, and then exhale, sit tall, back away from the stretch. Inhale, coming forward, feeling the stretch intensify, and exhale, coming up. Keep going. Follow your breath. Noticing where you feel this. Noticing the intensity. And then as you're ready, we'll find stillness. So you can find stillness sitting nice and tall. You can be leaning slightly forward. You could also bring your forearm to your thigh, or even reach your hands down towards your shin or your foot. Just make sure that wherever you go, your body feels safe and that you can easily come back up out of the pose. So in stillness, see if you can soften your jaw. And notice how the stretch changes with time. Does it get easier, harder? Does it move? Go ahead and lift yourself back up. Rebend your knee and windshield wiper your knees side to side. So you're just swaying those knees a little bit, shaking it off. And then we'll switch sides. So other leg straightens in front of you. If you did the same as me, that would be your left leg, but whichever leg you didn't already do. So one leg is straight, the other knee is bent. Make sure you have plenty of room behind you. So if your backrest is here where my hand is, you have lots of space. That way you can actually straighten out that leg. From there, we'll point and flex the foot. So motion through the ankle. Might hear some snaps and cracks. And then flexing your foot, toes up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. And we'll move in and out of the stretch. So we'll inhale, lean forward. Think about the bending happening at your hips and not so much at your spine. And then exhale, sit tall again. Inhale, leaning forward, feeling that stretch intensify. And then exhale, backing off, moving away from the stretch. So at your own pace here, just noticing, being curious. How does this feel? How does this change with time? And then as you're ready, we'll go ahead and hold the stretch. So you can either hold it sitting tall, if that's plenty of stretch. You can lean forward. You could bring a forearm to your thigh. You can even reach a hand down towards your shin or your foot. So just going wherever feels good, keeping the jaw relaxed and staying present with the stretch. So just noticing how it changes with time. Few more breaths here. And then lifting yourself back up, rebending the knee, and windshield wiper those knees side to side. All right, let's take our legs nice and wide now. So depending on what your seat is, you either need to scooch forward towards the front edge of the chair, or sometimes it's easier to actually move back towards the back of your chair. So just finding whatever position you can to get those legs as wide as you comfortably can. From here, we're going to lean to the right. So I'm going to mirror you. We're going to lean to the right. Right hand can be on your knee or thigh. You can also bring your right elbow to your thigh or knee. If you have an armrest, the other option would be to put your hand on your armrest or your forearm on your armrest. So finding this nice side bend, your free arm or that left arm can either rest alongside the body, could reach out to the side, could reach towards the ceiling, or reach all the way overhead. So it's up to you where you put your left arm, We're breathing into that left side body, into that rib cage, into the waist. And then gently lifting yourself back up. And we'll switch sides. So leaning to the left, either your left hand stays on your thigh or knee. You could bring your forearm to your thigh or knee. You could also bring your forearm to an armrest if you have one. Right arm can stay low, so feel free to stay there. Be nice to your shoulders, be nice to your body. Maybe the arm comes out into a T position. Maybe it reaches towards the ceiling. Maybe it reaches all the way over to your left.
Hello,
Hello, is Colleen there?
this is she.
Couple more deep breaths. And lifting yourself back up, heel toe those feet back towards each other. And let's do some shoulder rolls, one direction. And shoulder rolls the other way. Let the shoulders relax. And let's go ahead and move into our neck a little bit. So we'll rotate the head, no, look right to left, turning the head right and left. And then nodding the head, yes. Looking down and up. And head comes back to center. We'll bring one ear towards your shoulder, so a side bend of the neck. Shoulders stay relaxed. So when I say ear to shoulder, I don't actually mean that your ear is going to touch your shoulder. It's just that you're doing a side bend of the neck in that direction. And just pause. And switching sides. So other ear towards the shoulder. Again, you're not going to touch your shoulder. You're just moving in that direction. And then bringing the head back to center. We're going to move into standing. So for our chair yoga, we only stand for about 5 minutes. If you don't want to stand or if that's not accessible to you, feel free to stay seated. You can do some stretches in seated. Otherwise, if you are comfortable standing, go ahead and come on up. We're going to go behind our chair. If it's hard for you to get behind your chair, go ahead and find a wall, a table, a couch, something that you can hold on to. I'm going to turn my chair, but you don't have to turn directions unless you want to. So our hands are somewhere with support, just so that we feel balanced and steady. From there, we'll step our right leg back about 2 feet, give or take a foot. So it's up to you. You're stepping the right leg back, taking a big step back. Back leg is going to stay straight. All 10 toes are facing forward, and we bend just the front knee. So as you bend into the front knee, you might start to feel a stretch into the back of the back leg, into the calf of that right leg. So left knee is bent, right leg is straight, all 10 toes are facing forward. Feel free to keep your hands on the chair, or if you'd like, you could hover your hands over the chair, relax the arms, or maybe even reach the arms forward or up towards the ceiling. Just make sure that wherever you go, you feel steady and safe. Couple of deep breaths. Hands come down to your chair again or to your support. And we're going to step the right foot directly behind the left. like we're standing on a tightrope or a balance beam. So lifting that right foot and stepping it directly behind the left so that you're now standing on a tightrope or a balance beam. Now keep holding on to your support. And then if you feel safe, you can go ahead and hover the hands a little bit off of your chair or your table or wall. If that doesn't feel safe, please keep holding on. Hands come back to your support, and then step your right foot next to the left. And we'll switch sides. So left leg steps back, maybe 2-ish feet behind you, give or take a foot, just depends on how long your legs are. All 10 toes face forward, we bend the right knee. So front knee bends, back leg stays straight. You're looking for a stretch somewhere in the back of that back leg. Feel free to keep the hands on your support. Maybe they hover for a little balance. Maybe the arms relax or reach forward or reach up. There's really no right or wrong. You want to find what works for you, what feels good. Keeping the jaw relaxed. Hands come back to your support if you've lifted them. And we're going to stand on that tightrope again. So that left foot is going to go directly behind the right. So the right leg stays where it is. We're lifting that left foot and stepping it behind the right, standing on our balance beam on our tightrope. So keep holding on to your support. If this feels easy and you want a little more challenge, maybe you hover your hands above your chair or support. Just always being ready to step out if you lose your balance or to hold on. Nice, smooth breaths. Hands back to your support, step your left foot next to your right. From here, we're going to walk our legs back, creating an upside down L position. So walking those legs back and stretching those arms forward. I'll show you a couple different variations. So there's this variation with the arms straight. If getting your arms overhead like this is not possible, you can bring your forearms to your support, to your chair or table, and then walk those legs back so that you don't have to do as much of a range. So it's really up to you here what feels good. Couple of breaths. You don't have to go super low, so you can be up high like this, or you can bring the torso parallel to the earth. Find what works for you. Couple more deep breaths. All right, let's go ahead and walk on forward. Okay, one more bit of standing. We're going to move in and out of chair pose. So for chair, all 10 toes are facing forward. Feet can either be together if that's more comfortable for you, or you can let your feet be maybe 4 to 6 inches apart. Hands start on your chair. We'll inhale, bend the knees. Hips go back. Torso can come slightly forward, so it's like you're about to sit in a chair. And then standing tall. We inhale, bend the knees. We exhale, stand tall. Couple more times. If you'd like to add the arms, as you inhale and bend the knees, arms come forward or up. As you straighten the legs, arms come down. Feel free to keep holding onto your support if the arms are too much. We inhale, bend the knees, arms come forward or up. We exhale, straighten the legs, arms come down. Keep going, follow your breath. This is the last bit of standing before we sit back down. Next time you're in your chair pose with those knees bent, go ahead and pause and hold for 3 deep breaths. And straighten out the legs and go ahead and make your way back down to sit. And then once you're seated, let's take some circles with the torso, just like at the beginning, big circle. And go the other way. And then coming to center. Let's bend those elbows, cactus arms. From cactus, we're gonna go down into a W shape. Just bend those elbows close to the rib cage, slide those shoulders down the back. We'll inhale, stretch the arms up either into a T position, a V position, or an I position. So I'll say that again, I, V, or T. It's really whatever's comfortable on the shoulders. And then we bend on the exhale. We inhale, stretch the arms out away from the torso, and we exhale, bend, creating that W shape. Keep going, follow your breath. So don't worry about my speed or anybody else's. You do you. Next time your elbows are bent, we'll go ahead and pause. Go ahead and create a 90-degree bend. So you're gonna lower those arms and then bring the hands forward like you're holding a platter. So I'll just show you sideways here. So my elbows are bent about 90 degrees, hands are forward like I'm holding a platter. We'll inhale, open up the arms, thumbs reach back. We're still at a 90-degree bend, so it's not that W. We're still pretty open here. And then exhale, pinkies touch in front of the torso. Inhale, arms open, thumbs reach back. And exhale, pinkies touch. Keep going, follow your breath. Next time your thumbs are reaching back, go ahead and pause, hold for an extra breath. And then stretch the arms out into a T position. Flip your palms to face down and then back. So now with the thumbs are facing down towards the ground, pinkies towards the ceiling, palms are facing back. We're going to bend the elbows, I'll show you from the back, bend the elbows and take the hands behind your back. And you just take them up as high as you comfortably can. So we're getting some internal rotation of the shoulders. And just reaching those hands as high up on the back as you can, trying to keep the neck relaxed, 2 or 3 deep breaths. Think about trying to bring those elbows, instead of letting them come forward, you're trying to pull those elbows back. And release, shake it off. Let's leave our arms alone and go into our hips. I'm gonna stretch those hips, lots of options here. You can cross your right ankle over your left, letting those knees splay open. We can cross that right thigh over the left, or you can cross the right ankle over the left thigh, letting the knee open wide. So up to you what feels best. And go ahead and start to explore your space. So finding those circles again with the torso. They don't need to be big. They can be big if that feels good. And as you circle, notice, where does the stretch feel really good? Or where does it feel like that's where your body needs a little extra something? Go and circle the other way if you haven't already switched. free to keep moving. So if it feels nice to continue to move, you can do that. Otherwise, go ahead and find stillness. Stillness in whatever position feels good. Wherever you feel like you're getting the best or most interesting stretch. Unclench the jaw and allow your attention to stay with the sensations in your body. And go ahead and lift your torso up, replace your right leg down, shake it off so you can kind of kick those legs forward or windshield wiper those knees to reset. And we'll find our other side. So left ankle can cross over the right. Allow your knees to open if you're doing that. We want to find a little bit of rotation here in the legs. Otherwise, you can cross that left leg over, just like a kind of a traditional leg crossing position. Or you can cross that left ankle over your thigh. Whatever position you're in, go ahead and start to explore your space by taking those circles with your torso. Let your circles go the other direction if you haven't already switched. And then finding stillness in whatever position feels good or interesting to your body. Stillness isn't working for you, feel free to keep moving. Go ahead and lift your torso back up under your legs, shake them off. And go ahead and make yourself comfortable in your chair. So you might decide you want to scooch back a little bit so that your backrest is supporting you. Let's do a couple of shoulder rolls forward. Shoulder rolls back. Then allow those shoulders to relax and close your eyes. You don't want to close your eyes. You can just soften your gaze to the ground. Relax your jaw. And tune into your breath. So noticing the natural flow of the breath in and out of the body. As you inhale, you might sense some expansion, some stretching, some opening. And as you exhale, you might sense some softening, some letting go. If it's comfortable, allow your breath to slow down just a little bit. And once again, placing one hand on top of the other against your chest, against your heart. Pressing gently into this region, maybe drawing little circles one way, gentle circles the other way. And then allow the hands to rest and press into your chest. Feeling the breath moving beneath your palms, maybe even sensing your heart beating. Coming back to that intention that you set at the start of class, if you set one, and just acknowledging it. And then taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up to take care of your mind and your body. And thank yourself for showing up, not just for yourself, but for everybody else here in class. Without you, this time is not possible. Palms touched. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. It's so wonderful to have you back here in the new year. So our move of the week, if you're new, we often do a move of the week, is torso circles. Torso circles. We did a bunch of those movements. So I just want to encourage you to try and get some circles going throughout the day when you're sitting, if you're ever feeling stiff. Yeah, so we want to remember that for next time. Not next week, because next week is functional fitness, but the week after. And now we have a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments that you want to share, now is your time.
My husband and I usually do chair yoga through Spalding Rehab, but today when we logged on, the connection didn't work and the class wasn't happening. So we're grateful that my son sent the link to your program, and this is our first time doing it this way. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm so so glad you joined us today. Oh, and I'm seeing, and Arlene is saying, thank you, love these classes. Thank you for being here. If you see me looking around, I'm just scrolling through all of your cameras so I can see your pretty faces.
I'm unmuting me, I think, and I can't find myself to say thank you. This is the first time I've been able to sign on, and I'm grateful.
Thanks so much, Jan, for joining us.
Thank you. Let me ask another question too. In 3 weeks, I go back to England. I'm in Denver now, which is home. And will I be able to continue? I live on a little island off the south coast of England. My husband's English, so will I be able to still? Good. I'll be there.
Yes, if you have the Zoom link and you have internet,
okay.
The class will be at the same time that it is, so you just have to figure out the time zone. That'll be evening for you.
It will be something. I know. And see, now I don't find anything on here except it says reflection, questions, and move of the week. I can't go back to where I can see you or the other people that are here. So I don't know. I'm not very clever at this sort of thing. So I'm not sure. It says, I don't know.
So yeah, if you go to the,
and maybe that'll
yeah.
How do I do it? I have no idea, but thank you. Thank you. That's exciting. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for being here. Oh, and I'm seeing also in the chat, Brendia, first time. Love it. Thanks. Wonderful to have you. Oh, and then we have Lynn. Thank you. I appreciate the exercises while at lunchtime. My coworkers have no idea I'm exercising while I'm on my lunch break. That's awesome. So glad you're doing that.
Adrian, did you hear my question earlier? I thought I was off mute at the time.
No, I didn't hear your question.
Okay. Just a few minutes ago, when we're leaning forward with our arms on the chair, are our legs supposed to be perfectly straight or bent just a little bit?
They can be bent just a little bit. If you like to have them perfectly straight, that's totally fine. But generally that might be very intense in the backs of the legs. So a
It
little
was.
bend is great.
It was.
Yes. a little
Okay,
bend
thank
is-
you.
Good
Okay.
question. Very good question.
I'm calling from Norfolk, Virginia. I'm 77 and I'm a cancer survivor. And since I don't drive anymore, I'm glad GoGo has this class once a week that I can participate in.
Thank you. I'm
Great.
glad
So
that
next week,
you're using it.
yeah.
So
And next week is
it'll be chair.
No, so next week is functional fitness. So that's a lot more standing. It's still pretty accessible, but it's mostly standing class. Our yoga is a
Okay.
mostly seated class. So it's
Okay.
just some variety.
Yeah, I'll be here next week.
Great.
Well, this doesn't have to be the only place where we chat. We also have a Facebook group, and you can see in our chat here, there's a link to it. So if you go to the link that says bit.ly/GoGo group, you can find a Facebook group, and you can join it. And some people share artwork that they do, different hobbies that they participate in. They share photos. Really nice group. We're growing it. It's growing every day. So hope to see you there too. A lot of the same people who join these classes are also there. So it's a nice way to reconnect. And this also doesn't have to be the only place you ask questions. So if you were hoping to ask Adra a question and either were shy or didn't think of it until later, you can always reply to the emails that you get from GoGo about these events, and I'll make sure they get to Adra. We get your question answered. Or you could hold it until the next time you see her, and that's good too. But with that, I think we can close out. And thank you all for making this such a great first chair yoga session of the year.
Thank you
So
so much.
we'll catch you
Bye.
Thank
soon.
you. Bye
Bye,
bye.
everybody.
Thanks, everyone.